It's official. Brian Manley is now the permanent chief of police for the Austin Police Department. City Council voted unanimously during its meeting. Brian Manley has been with the department since 1990. When Chief Art Acevedo left in 2016 for Houston, Manley took over as interim chief. He was forced into the national spotlight earlier this year as he led Austin through the serial bombing case. After that, City Manager Spencer Cronk vetted Manley and only Manley for the position. We spoke with him after the vote came down.
You know, it's almost surreal. I am honored by my selection to serve as the permanent chief. I've got obviously the support of a great department. I appreciate the process that we went through for the selection of the police chief here in Austin, and we've got work to do.
Right after the news broke about this, his predecessor, Art Acevedo, congratulated him. He tweeted, "Here's to the future, my friend. Your work and personal ethics is a point of pride for all who know you and work with you. The work is never finished." Manley started his law enforcement career with APD nearly 28 years ago and has not worked for another police department since. The Austin Fire Department will soon have a new temporary leader. During yesterday's meeting, City Manager Spencer Cronk named Assistant Chief Tom Dodds as interim chief. He'll take over the position once current Chief Rodemaker leaves. Dodds' appointment goes into effect on July 1st. He's worked with the Austin Fire Department for 32 years.
The Austin City Council agrees on a resolution to reduce racial disparities when it comes to police. This would prevent officers from arresting someone for a misdemeanor like driving with an invalid license or a small amount of marijuana. The resolution would only apply to nonviolent misdemeanors, not felonies or any situation involving violence. Councilmember Greg Casar says data from APD shows whether someone's arrested or ticketed for a misdemeanor is exercised differently depending on the offender's race. According to that data, African Americans were 7 times more likely to be arrested for a discretionary misdemeanor than white people.
Why is it that because of the DPS point system or my financial hardship, do I have to go to jail for a suspended license? This is oppression. I'm already struggling. An arrest will only keep me down.
Normally, if there is no proper ID, if there are some other crimes that may be afoot, or if you issue a field release and you believe the crime is still going to commit after you leave, then arrest is appropriate.
Council hopes that this resolution will affect how police interact with communities of color, but any policy changes will ultimately be up to Chief Manley. The Austin Independent School District wants to make nearly $2 million in safety upgrades to schools. That includes adding 5 police officers to the district's police force, improving the safety check system, and hiring additional emergency management staff. Also creating a system to track students who ride the bus and install call boxes and additional cameras at all middle and high schools. Those items are included in the upcoming fiscal budget year. Other ideas covered in a nearly $27 million bond approved last year include updates to police radio and dispatch and hiring more mental health counselors.
The TSA is reminding everyone about prohibited items as the summer travel season heats up. Earlier this week, agents found a loaded gun inside a passenger's carry-on. During an X-ray checkpoint screening, they discovered the weapon loaded with 6 rounds. It's the 41st gun found at one of ABIA's checkpoints. The passenger was arrested. Anyone who tries to get a gun through security faces arrest and a fine of about $4,000. Airport officials say these situations cause problems for other travelers.
You won't make your flight that day, and it also puts a big delay in the screening process for the rest of the checkpoint.
In most cases, passengers say that they forgot that they had a firearm in their bag.
Last year, TSA agents seized nearly 4,000 firearms. That's up 17% since 2016.
All right, we know Texas loves barbecue. Students at Lanier High School are certainly learning that. Its Future Farmers of America groups actually have a competitive barbecue team. It was formed 2 years ago to compete at a cook-off for high school students, and since then they have combined their love of cooking with welding, creating their own line of barbecue pits. Yesterday, students spent the day cooking for an event for the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, as well as a graduation event.
Barbecue is kind of a mystery to a lot of people. A lot of people burn a lot of things, and so our goal was to give some kids some basic skills where they can leave here and cook something successfully at their house.
It's definitely something I would recommend everybody to do, at least learn to do it, because you learn how to be patient, how to pace yourself, and how to be like punctual and responsible when it comes to this.
Those students also got some professional advice and tips after they've visited barbecue joints around town. If you want to buy one of the barbecue pits or learn more about the program, you can go to Lanier High School's FFA page on Facebook.
And we're finally beginning to see high pressure let up just a little bit and move off to the east. And as it goes, we're going to be opening the door for some better rain chances by this weekend. Also still tracking that area of tropical low pressure. We're going to break down the timing of that and have when the best rain chances will arrive in central Texas after the break.
And we're at Cian Noodle cooking up something delicious in the kitchen this morning. Of course, talking about the 11th annual Taste of North Austin. Catch the details coming up.